Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Well, in this episode, we're going to take a look at the Seafly Faith 2 drone. This baby right here, it comes in this box, and when you take away the box, you get a shoulder bag, which mine came with. Let's toss that. So let me tell you about this here little baby orangey drone I have in front of me. First thing is, well, obviously it's foldable, so you can unfold it and turn it into a regular size looking drone like this. Brushless motors and props are also foldable, as you can see here. It does take a micro SD card to save your video and photos on. The camera in the front is 4K, shoots at 4K 30 frames per second, and actually has a Sony sensor in it and a true 3-axis gimbal. Range on this baby, if you read the specs, is 5,000 meters, which is about 3 miles. But if you look closely at the specs, it says with your phone and your controller, it's more like 3,000 meters, 2 miles. So yeah, you probably get about 2 miles on this thing. Flight time is really good. It is 35 minutes on the included battery. Looking at the bottom, you can see there's an optical flow and ultrasonic sensors on the bottom. That's all for positioning. It does have GPS and GLONASS in it, and I do find that it gets satellites really fast. One item that surprised me in this review is how fast it flies. It can cover a lot of ground really fast. Apparently, according to the specs, it does 20 meters per second, which is pretty fast. Like all drones on the market, it has the basic functions like follow me, orbit, waypoints. It also has quick shots on this, sort of like the Mavic Mini quick shots, but kinda not really, but kinda not really. You'll see it, I'll show you. It does come in orange, blue, black, and white. So with the sensors on the bottom having ultrasonic, that lets it know how high it is when it's like at a certain height above the ground. It's always checking to see what's below it, as well as the optical flow, which is a little camera in the center. That means you should be able to, technically, fly this indoors. So I thought, what the heck? Let's try to see if I can fly it indoors. And yeah, it flies indoors. Here's my test. I'll just show you some video footage from it. Check this out. Here we go, indoor flight going up, and watch how stable this is. Looking straight up, it's sitting right there nicely. Yeah, I was kind of impressed how well it worked indoors. Really good for indoor flight if that's what you want to do. Just make sure you have the space. So you can fly this thing indoors if you had to. Next, I thought, you know what? I'm going to go try this outdoors in my backyard. So I took it out to my backyard. It was a dull, overcast day, which most days are now that we're in winter. And yeah, stuck it in my backyard, powered it on, and took it up for a flight. And once again, I was pretty surprised. And the reason I was pretty surprised is because I did not do a GPS calibration. No, if you read the instructions on this thing is really confusing. It says do a GPS calibration if it tells you to. So I put it in my backyard. There's buildings all around. You know, the satellites are hard to get because the buildings are blocking them. And I thought, let's see if it gets satellites and let's see if it flies without a GPS calibration. And it did both really well. So check this out. All right, flying the drone in the backyard, and as I've already mentioned, I was impressed because you have seen other videos of mine where I've flown drones back here and they could not get the satellites. This drone, it got the satellites, no problem, and I did no compass calibration or gyro calibration on the drone. Here I am taking it up because I wanted to check out a nest. There's a little nest in a tree that looks kind of strange, so I'm trying to look over at the nest, and you can see I'm moving the gimbal left, right, and up and down, just checking out how the exposure changes. It all seems to work quite well for winter because snow is very white and it really messes up the exposure. All in all, it's a very smooth flying drone. And yeah, it was a good flight in the backyard, so it's up there with some of the better drones. All right, so the next thing to show you is the app interface. The drone is sitting right there. You can't see it. It's right below the camera. It's shooting at me, and I have the record on, so hopefully the video is working. This is what I look like recorded on that drone. I got to get my head in the image. There we go. I'm in the image now, and this is the video. So next we'll switch over to my iPhone right here, and I'm going to show you what is on this here screen. So looking from the top left to the right, you see on the top left it says ready to take off, and it's in altitude mode. That is not GPS. That means I'm going to fly it without GPS because I'm indoors. Going over to the right, for some reason I'm in my basement and it has 4 satellites. I tell you, the satellite reception on this is really good. Going over, the battery remaining is 40%, and then there's 3 little dots. I'll show you what those are later. Going down the left, the little picture of the controller is your quick shots. So if you click on that, that, you'll get quick shots, then you have your takeoff and your return to home. Going along the bottom, you have your maps. And then along the very bottom, you have your distance, your height, your speed, your horizontal speed, your vertical speed. And then going over to the right is where you're going to be recording. So right now you see that big red circle has numbers going below it. And below it is a folder. If you click on that folder, it shows you everything you recorded on the drone as well as on your phone. And you can access it from there. You can also switch to video mode and camera mode going up where you see that picture of the video camera. If I stop the recording and tap on that, then I'll go into photo mode. And then at the very top above that, I have SD 19.5. So it shows I have like a 32 gig card in here, and I've got like 19.5 gigs remaining. And then those three dots at the top are the only options in this baby. So let me click that. There we go. So I can turn on beginner mode. I can change my Wi-Fi channels if I'm getting interference. I have my altitude height limit. I've got it at 120. And then I can put on a grid over top of the image if I want to do that, just to keep things horizontal. My voltage is showing there. Low power alarm, I have it set to 10%. I can do my calibrations here. I've never done a calibration on this drone. Everything in this video is done without a calibration. So you can do a gyro and a compass calibration. If you lose your drone and you have to get another one, but you have the controller, so you can pair your new drone to the controller. One of the only negatives I have, and I've told the company this, is that their app is lacking features for the camera. There's no camera settings on here. They got a freaking Sony sensor in this thing, which is really good, but I can't play with anything. I can't play with the ISO, the exposure, anything. I could tap on the screen and you would think it would adjust, but nope. Now the company did tell me they're working on the app and there will be a new version coming out that's going to have all these features. But right now at the time that I have it, those features do not exist, so I cannot show you them in this video. I'm going to switch over to camera mode and I'll take a snapshot. And I do find the photos on this are really good quality, so I'll take a picture. Put my head down and get in the shot for the picture. Here we go. Oh, one last thing I forgot to show you. Going from the top, from left to right, where it says altitude, you can click on that and you see I have position. That's GPS mode. Then I have orbit. That's how I'm going to do circles. I can have this orbit around anything I want. And track, which is follow me. And the one at the bottom, one key shot. I think that's like a time-lapse thing, but I'm not sure. One key shot. Oh, it says I can do it one key shot, so it must be for the photos and doing something like that. So I'm not really sure. Now, the magic behind the flight range is in this here controller. And this controller is basically a Wi-Fi repeater. So your phone sits close to this here controller. This controller talks to your phone, you connect to the controller, and then it shoots out the signal. So this is doing all the work of getting the range for this drone. And the controller is rechargeable, so you never have to put batteries in it. Now, let me show you this thing flying outdoors. So I took it out to my field. It's really dull here in Canada at this time of the year with the snow and everything. And cameras have difficulty filming when you have white snow and dull weather. All of a sudden the sky, the snow, everything just looks dull and all the colors mushed together. So I took this baby out. Once again, there's no settings in the app to adjust the camera. So when I fly other cameras like DJI cameras in weather like I was flying today, I always play with the exposure and I boost it. When I use my professional camera for recording myself, when I'm talking outdoors, I boost the exposure and I adjust everything. Some cameras I have to adjust the white balance because the snow will turn everything blue or purplish color. There's no settings on here, so I couldn't adjust anything. So let me show you this. This is an image right now from outdoors, and you can see it looks kind of dark. So in my editing software, I can fix it by just bumping up the exposure a little bit. But when you bump up the exposure on an image that already was dark, sometimes you get grain in it. Like you might see noise up in the corners or around in the sky, like looks like little ants or flies buzzing around. So yeah, so when you watch the video footage from this, I had to bump up the exposure a slight tiny bit in my editing software. So anyways, let's go to me outside flying this thing and showing you how it flies. Here we go. All right, I'm out on a cloudy, dull, overcast day with the Faith 2, and a little bit different today. I'm expecting a phone call, very important phone call. So my Apple iPhone is right here in my jacket. So I'm not going to be using my iPhone today. I'm going to use an Android phone. But the Android phone has no SIM card in it, so it doesn't get data. So I'm going to use it just like if I was using a tablet, you know, with no data. So I don't know if all the features on this drone are going to work, but you're going to see it here. Let's go check it out. Comes in this nice shoulder case, and when you open it up, it looks like this. I don't know, can you see that? That's what it looks like. Has a gimbal guard on it. Take that off. Unfold it. It is kind of cold out here today. It's like -5 degrees Celsius and there is a wind, so it feels even colder. You'll see the wind when this is flying. It's going to bounce around in the wind, but yeah, we'll see how it does. Oh, and if you want to know what the temperature is in Fahrenheit, it's right there, Fahrenheit. All right, let's power this baby on. Just press the back. Makes a little sound and it has to initialize itself. Next, I take the controller, unfold it, get it all ready, put these antennas up. Make sure I have the switch in GPS mode right there, GPS mode. Power it on. Makes a beep, and this light over here, you probably can't see it, but it turns green. Green is GPS, red is not GPS. Take my Android phone. This is a Samsung Galaxy Note 8, I believe. Now, when you connect your Wi-Fi to the drone, you actually connect it to the controller because the controller is like a Wi-Fi repeater. It just boosts the signal, and then your phone is so close to this here controller that it gets the signal. Whoa, the wind is cold right now. So I'm just showing you on my screen. It says I'm connected to ground, and that's what you want to be connected to. Next, you're going to click on the C-Fly 2 app right here, and it should connect itself and tell you everything is good. On the back of the drone, I can see it right here. As long as the little light on the back of the drone is solid green, then it means it has sufficient GPS signals to take off. One thing you're going to notice I'm not doing in this video, and with this drone, this is a more semi-pro drone, at least that's what they sell it as. It doesn't require a compass calibration, so you take it out of the box, you go fly it. In the instructions, which are very confusing, they say that only do a compass calibration if the app asks you for it. And then I'm going to click on the start flying, and I should go into and see what I see. All right, so on my app, I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully this is recording. It says I have 15 satellites. That says green. Always make sure the back of the drone is showing green on the LED. And on here it says position mode and ready to go. So it's ready to fly. Let me just move the case out of the way. Let me get out of here so you can see me. To fly it, all I have to do is pull these down and out. Down, out. And the motor should start up. And let's take it up. Let's see how good the GPS is. Well, it's pretty decent already. It's sitting right there in the air. No calibration, the wind is blowing it around. You can see it bouncing in the air. So it is pretty cold out, so it's kind of shaky, vibraty. Oh, the wind is just blowing on my back. Here, let's take this baby forward. You can fly it low and slow to the ground. Here, I'll fly it at my camera. I'll fly it back to me to come over the camera. There we are. There we go, cruise around. Glow to the ground and back up to me. All right, so that's the video quality on this baby, and I can move the camera down and I can move it up. There's down. You have a little, goes down 90 degrees looking at the footprints in the ground. And of course, it's a very dull day, and with all that white snow, the exposure is probably going to go wonky as it changes from all these settings. So here I am in green. All right, let's take it up so you get my head in. All right, once again, I have no SIM card in this here phone, so it's acting sort of like a tablet, so I don't know if all the features will work. The drone is up there. I'm going to try to see if the follow me works. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go to track. Does it work? I'll be so surprised. Oh my god, oh my god, I have no SIM card in here, so it's just using the GPS on the phone. I think it's working. Oh, let's see. I gotta walk. Is it gonna come, or am I lying? It looks like it's coming. It's following me. I'm not doing it. It's coming. That's pretty sweet. So this is pretty decent that it works without having a SIM card in the phone. Does that mean the orbit works too? Let me get out of that. Okay, so the follow me function works. Let's see if the orbit function works. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna hit orbit. Orbit, will it work? Now orbit in this just causes it to orbit, and then I have to adjust it with the joystick. So first thing you do is make a radius. So I want it to be wider. There we go. And now the next thing you can do is the speed. But I'll just go like that and see, it's orbiting me super slow. So there we go. So we know the orbit works. All right guys, I'm kind of impressed here because normally when I take a drone out and I don't have a SIM card in my phone, a lot of the features don't work on budget drones, but this one here, it all works with no SIM card. So that means you could use this with a tablet. If you had a tablet with a GPS chip in it, like my phone has, and get all the same features. That's pretty good. All right, so we have some features on the left-hand side. Those are all your quick shots. The drone is recording. Please stop recording, then do quick shots, okay? So I'm gonna hit stop. So there's no more video recording. I'm gonna go to quick shots. So these are all the quick shots on there. Normal, skyrocket, flyaway, spiral, comet flight, circle mode. It says, please adjust target to the green box. And there's the green box, you can see it. And I can hit start, something's happening. Oh, so it's going, except I'm not the target. Hello, I'm still over here. So it's doing the spiral, except I'm not really in the picture. You can kind of see me here, I'll come forward. So it's doing the spiral now, going up automatically. So it does it. It's not the same as like a Mavic Mini or a Mini 2 where you draw a square around somebody. It's like you have to get in the target, it seems, at least with the Android phone. Let me just stop that. So it looks like it automatically recorded as well. I didn't touch the record there. It looks like it did the record itself. So let me just try another one, because that was very odd. I'm expecting to put a box around myself, but it didn't do anything. Let me do one more here. Fly away. Yeah, let's do fly away, which is fly away mode. That's a terrible title for something. Fly away mode. That's the worst thing you want to see on a drone. Hey, I would like my drone to fly away. All right, so let's try that. So let's say flight radius 10, next. Please put the target in the green box. So I want to be here. So it should go up and out, all right? And there it goes back and up. Now here's another thing I just noticed. Once again, no SIM card in my phone, but I think the maps work. Look, I can touch maps. Oh, before using map function, please sure that the map has been loaded. Well, I don't know, I didn't load it. No waypoint route planning. Oh, so you can do waypoints and everything else. You know, on the top right, you can see all the waypoint controls, but I'm gonna go out of that. I'm not gonna do that here. All right, so how about I fly this drone forward and take some video. Here we go. Take it up. All right, two things I can say I'm really impressed with is the flight time. I've been flying for quite a while and I'm at, according to this, I'm at 40% battery left. So that's really good flight time. And the second thing is the range. I've been flying all over the place here and not getting any interference. I'm gonna try the return to home. I'm gonna press this, see if it works. Should hear some beeps, and I do. And I see the drone is turning and coming back. So let's go see how accurate it is to see where it lands. I do find too that this drone flies quite fast. You know, like it's got a really fast forward speed, which is pretty decent for, you know, a budget drone. It covers a lot of territory really quickly with this thing. So let's see, we're going back here and let's see if it lands even close to the landing pad. You know, I'm not expecting anything great, but we'll see where it is. So I still see it coming. It's really booting it. It's coming behind me. Wow. I was like super far behind that school, like way back there, and it's up here someplace. There it is. There it is. There it is. Look at it go. Look at how fast it is. Holy crap. All right. It's right above me. It's coming down. It's not going to hit the landing pad. It looks, not unless it readjusts itself. So the landing pad is over there, and if I go this way and up, there's my drone. It's coming down in the snow. Coming down in the snow, and it's gonna make a snowman or a snow angel. Hey, pretty cool. Not that bad. So let me just take this and bring you back to where you should have landed. Put you over here. All right, sweet, 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 sweet. All right, the next thing I want to show you is exactly what comes in the box. This is not an unboxing. I'm just going to show you what came in the box, well, what I received. So here's my box, and let me show you everything that came in it. Check this out. Inside that box was this shoulder bag with plenty of zippers. I'm sure you could use one. And inside that shoulder bag, well, when you open it up, this is what you see. You have the drone, the controller, the battery, and accessories. First item you'll want to take out of the bag is your foldable drone. I know I was curious and I just had to weigh it, so it's 530 grams with the battery. Speaking of the battery, it is a 3100 milliamp hour battery at 11.4 volts. Next item taken out of the shoulder bag was the controller. Everything is nicely laid out. You have your power button up top right, then you have a pause button, a GPS button, a takeoff and land button, and a return to home button. Over on this side, we have our take a photo button, our camera up and down button, the antennas, the USB charge button, and the video button. It can accommodate most size phones. It definitely can accommodate a tablet unless you get a tablet holder, but you can fit your phone in here nicely. It does come with some accessories. There is a bar right there. That's for a phone extender. Plus you have the charging unit with the USB cable and spare props over on the right. And finally, you have a manual that covers the drone and the app and a few of the specs. All right, so that's it. Final thoughts in this drone? Well, there's only two things that I find are lacking based on the price of this drone. If this drone was like a $100 drone, I would think it's phenomenal. It's the most amazing thing since sliced bread. But they priced this drone so it's in the range of like a medium price. You know, it's still a budget drone, but at the higher end of the budget drones. So for that reason, I have to pick on it a little bit because it's still lacking a few things. So the first thing it's lacking is the app. Remember I mentioned the app, there's no settings for the camera, but that is coming. That's probably not a big issue because they did say they're going to add more and more and more to the app. At least they told me that because I already asked them about it. So if they fix that and put the settings for the camera, then it's bonus really good because then everything will look amazing because it is a Sony sensor and it does film really well, and that 3-axis gimbal is really good. And the flight speed on this is outstanding. So all in all, it's a really good drone. It's just that app, you need some camera settings. The only other complaint I had was the battery. This battery here takes a long time to charge because it's USB. When I receive the drone, I do my silly stuff. I take it out of the box, I put the battery into the drone, and I start flying and playing with it. The battery's probably like at, I don't know, 20% when you get it. So I run it right down to almost zero. And when I charge this thing from 0 all the way up to 100%, it takes hours. I mean, like if you want to go fly the next day, you better charge this the day before. You can't like charge this for 2 hours and go out and fly. It takes a long time if it's at 0. If you're at 50% battery life, or like I'm at 40% right now, it won't take too long. It's probably going to take about 3 hours or so. But if you're at 0, oh my God, it takes a long time. And that's because the charger, they include it just like with all budget drones today. They're all USB chargers. USB just trickle charge. So it's not a fast charger on this baby. But other than that, everything else is like 2 thumbs up. It's bonus. It performed well. I love the fact that it gets satellites really quick. I love the fact you do not, like the really budget drones, have to do a compass calibration every flight. I have done no calibrations on this. No gyro, no compass, nothing. And I've flown it several times and it flies perfect. It just works right out of the box. So it's really good in that regard. All right, guys, if you have questions on this here drone, just post them below and I'll get back to you. I'm going to put links to where you can find this. I think it's only available currently on the AliExpress website. So links are going to the AliExpress website. Check it out there. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and I will catch you in future videos with many more reviews. Take care.